We met Ashanti Lang Thursday afternoon as she stood online outside her local supermarket in the Bronx.
It's like World War Z out here.
Ashanti told us it was her first time leaving home in 3 weeks. We immediately got the impression she was not prepared for just how much things have changed in that time.
We live in a city that never sleeps, and the streets are empty.
Ashanti says she's lucky enough to be working from home as an employee for DC 37, New York City's largest public employee union. But she adds several of her relatives are not so lucky and have joined the ranks of the unemployed. The numbers, both locally and nationally, keep going up.
It's a shock because that could have been me. I have family members that are unemployed right now because they don't know how they're going to make rent, how they're going to feed their kids. It's a lot going on.
As has frequently been the case in our coronavirus reporting, there is some good news and bad news. The good news?
Hospitalizations, which you can see, is the lowest number we've had since this nightmare started.
The bad news, we are still a long ways off our economic recovery.
Last week, there were 350,000 unemployment claims in New York. Going back to March 9th, we're at 810,000 unemployment claims.
New Labor Department figures reveal more than 6.5 million people across the country filed for unemployment last week alone. Labor Secretary Eugene Scalia says the federal government has no choice but to do more.
We have already dispersed $500 million to states to help them with their systems and making these payments. We have another $500 million that we're ready to release.
From President Trump, more optimism.
Well, I think the economy is going to do very well. Now, that's just my feeling. It's a strong feeling. I've had good, proper feelings about a lot of things over the years.
For Ashanti Lang, while her attention remains focused on her grocery list, she says she feels terrible about the several unemployed members of her family who are struggling to put food on the table.
How to make ends meet, how to be able to survive. Don't know when they're not going to get a next check. People are dying from this.
Corey Tamsin, my partner and I, Rudy Bushanti, we've been working all over this region during this coronavirus reporting, but I've got to be honest, this is our first time here in this section of the Bronx, and it was pretty nerve-wracking seeing so many people walking close together without masks, without gloves, approaching one another, walking by us a little too close for comfort, even though we did have our masks on. And that speaks to what I'm about to tell you, which is Governor Cuomo says that we should not be lulled into a false sense of security. He says that we very well could be seeing a second or a third wave of infections. It's critical that we keep up the precautions, the social distancing, to make sure that this doesn't get any worse. We are live in the Bronx tonight. Jay Dow, Pix 11 News.